title is a field manager, and I work for a company called SVELLA Connect.
Is there anything that SVELLA Connect is sort of like connected to? Are they a company, sort of a loan company, or are they merged to anything?
It's a strange one. The company that I worked for previously was called North Midlands Construction, which was a big civils company, build motorways, hospitals, a lot of infrastructure for the cable industry. But they collapsed last year through bad money dealings and stuff like that. I won't go into. So SVELLA is actually how do you put it? A finance company who supports struggling companies. Now, with the collapse of my old company, they decided to come in and purchase the company cheap as chips. So we're actually run now by a bunch of accountants, and they've created SVELLA Connect to carry on the work that North Midlands Construction was doing in the telecom industry.
What qualifications, skills and experience do you require for your role?
For my role, well, I've done a degree with the Open University, so obviously that's helped me because it's a managerial position. It's helped me get into this position of being a manager. Other than that, I've got no other qualifications in the industry itself, just a lot of experience, and I've served in the game since the late 90s. So it's more experience-based. I've managed to get the role, plus with the degrees, obviously helped me get the managerial position.
What qualities would you look for in an applicant if you were interviewing for the role?
Obviously, education is going to be a start, see what sort of qualifications you've got. I mean, this game, again, it's more based on work experience and actual qualifications. I mean, I could take you to one tomorrow if you want a job, and we'd do in-house training and get you up to the stuff that you need to do for the job. So there's not really much actual qualifications you need to get into the starting point of this career in the telecoms industry. Obviously, there is a lot of stuff out there you can do which will help you get higher positions and stuff, but to come in as a bog standard like starting man, you don't need anything really.
And what extracurricular sort of work experience would you advise yourself?
I mean, it is a hands-on construction industry, so any sort of background in working with tools, working outside. There's a lot of digging holes and stuff like that. So it's a bit of a grunt work, really. Obviously, the further up you go to the field, the more technical you're going to get. But to start, just be used to using tools, spades, drills, screwdrivers, that sort of stuff. Be used to be working outside because it is an outside thing. So, I mean, winter time's nasty. It's dark, it's wet, it's cold. You're going to be getting wet, dirty, muddy, all that sort of stuff. And then you think, oh, great, summertime's here. It gets too hot. You know what I mean? It's you'll be out there baking, getting sunburnt and sweating all day long. So a big part of it is be used to be working outside in all weathers.
What would a typical day at work be for you?
This. Sat around on my laptop. Luckily, we're being a manager. I mean, I run the whole of Lincolnshire. We subcontract into Virgin Media. So any sort of civils work, digging work, cable work out in the streets, that's what we cover. So a general day for me is I've got teams of guys underneath me. We give them work to go out and do. So it's just the general running of a yard, making sure they've got the stock, making sure they've got the tools, auditing the work, making sure it's decent, liaising with Virgin, picking up any sort of issues they might have. It's quite a bit. I class it's a bit like firefighting. I can sit here for hours, not doing a lot, waiting on something to happen, and then a phone call can come in and all hell breaks loose. You know what I mean? So it's a bit of a you wait and see what the day brings to you, really. But it's just a general managing of men, a yard, stock keeping, all that sort of stuff.
What are the opportunities for your career? Obviously, you can come in from the start, as you said, the box standard start man. What opportunities of progression have you got as in your role in the company and in general?
For me, because telecoms at the minute, I mean, you boys will know everyone wants broadband. It's a massive industry at the minute. And for years and years, it's been pretty poor in Britain, the sort of supply you can get. Most rural areas, you're talking pretty rubbish, like broadband speeds and stuff. So at the minute, there are startup companies all over that are digging up pretty much every city, village you can think of to supply fibre broadband to most houses. So there's a lot of scope at the minute. I mean, for me, we've been in the position I am. I can work up the ladder as high as management positions. So there's quite a lot of scope for me if I wanted to take it. So it's a good position to be in at the minute.
Does the organisation support any extra training or qualifications through their funding?
Yeah, I mean, if like I say, if you boys come on, I could put you through quite a few courses, tickets that'll stay with you for life, that'll help you in other jobs. For me, there is opportunity to do more managerial stuff, environmental courses. So the company is quite good in supporting and trying to grow its homegrown people. So yeah, there's good opportunities if you want to take them.
What are the main reasons people leave your sort of job role? Is it because like they don't like the job role, or is it through sort of progression and advancement?
At the minute, more progressional, especially on my side of things. I started this with a couple of other guys that moved on to different companies to do different roles, and I've now come back to our company in different positions. So, yeah, there's a lot of scope to move around and stuff. Well, like I say, because it's such a big industry at the minute, a lot of people, once you work in one company, people know you in other companies as well. So if you keep yourself a good name, you can move to another company. Never burn your bridges. If you're going to leave, you can always come back to other companies as well. So yeah, it's quite good at the minute.
If an applicant applied for your position, what would a typical interview look like? And is there any like assessments or anything like that?
No, I mean, it'd just be a general interview. You'd meet with high management and HR and just go through your general sort of questions on a normal interview basis. There's no real assessment you do, just, normal general interview process. I mean, if you boys started with me, you'd come and sit in this office and I'd chat to you. We'd go through an interview like any normal interview and then we'd take it from there. So nothing special.
What are the typical sort of contracted hours that you look for in roughly a week?
Well, ours is 45-hour weeks, so we work 9-hour days, 7 till 4. But that's not set in stone. I mean, obviously, I've got crews out there that some jobs need doing on the day, so you might have to stay out later if something needs doing. Me as well. I mean, I'm on a salary base, so you don't really finish at 4 o'clock. You know what I mean? Your phone's still on probably till 7 at night. You've got emails and stuff to do. You might take work home, so. I mean, there's overtime there. You know what I mean? If I do extra work, I'll book in overtime hours. I'll get paid more money. So, but I do think on a salary, your hours aren't strict. You know what I mean? On a salary, you're sort of expected. And we're being a manager and dealing with people to be on call a bit later. And, like my guys, if they phone me up at 6, 7 o'clock at night and they've got family issues or something's going wrong, I'm there to support them as well. So you don't really turn off in a manager's role.
Is there any kind of perks / additions you get to your wages and salaries that isn't just raw sort of money?
Yeah, I mean, we're subcontracting to Virgin. We get the staff package from Virgin. So, yeah, normal sort of Virgin package is a couple of TiVo boxes, your broadband phone lines, probably £100 a month. We get that for £15. So it's a nice little saving on that. The company does have a perk system with different other companies out there. So, you can purchase stuff from Harvey Nicks and stuff like that or whatever, and you get like a point scheme which will reduce money off your next purchase and stuff. So there's all that in there. There's healthcare and stuff. So yeah, there's a few perks to put out for you.
If a applicant came to an interview, what qualities would you want them to have? Like, would you want them to have confidence, be able to talk well?
And you need to be, you got to think for yourself, look, because I literally you'll work in a van of two of you. So you two, I'd put in a van, I'd give you a list of jobs across Lincolnshire. You might be going to Grantham, Lincoln, Scunthorpe. You've got to go knock on people's doors, dig up their gardens, pull cables in the street. So you've got to have a bit of a self-efficiency about you. I can't be there all day saying, do this, do that. You need to think for yourselves and plan for yourself. So it's quite a good little number on that way because you're self-efficient. You've got to deal with yourselves. It's not like a factory where they're saying, right, go do that, go do this. Literally, I give you a list of stuff to do. It's up to you two to do it out in the field. So you need to be quite confident, I can't think of the term, self-efficient is the best way. You know what I mean? You need to be able to think for yourselves and deal with problems yourselves. Problem solving is a good one as well. I'm on the end of a call to my guys, but you can't phone me every 5 minutes saying, what do I do? What do I do here? You need to be able to think for yourselves and think, right, there's a problem. How do we get through it? So problem solving is a good one to have as well.
If you could give yourself one piece of advice to your younger self before you went into this business, what would it be?
Stay away from telecoms. I've moved around a lot. I've done a lot of different jobs in my time, from industrial roofing to scaffolding. I've run my own smoothie business that I started myself. I've run my own aerial business. I'm a qualified plumber. I went back and trained myself to be a plumber. I've run handyman companies. It's the best thing I'd say is educate yourself, get tickets. The more and more you can do now, the easier it'll be later on. I mean, I went back to do my OU degree when I was 35. I left school with a couple of GCSEs. That was it. I've spent all my early days working on the tools, hands-on, and I'd always wished that I'd have qualified myself at an earlier stage in life to have progressed further than where I am now. So, you know, going back to do a degree at 36, although I wanted to do it and I wanted to be educated, I've left it 20 years too late in my eyes. So learn now. Do you know what I mean? Do it all now, because once you're out there working, you know, it's hard for you to train while you're working, if you know what I mean. So get everything done now, and then you've got a job like I did on rubbish money, you know what I mean? So I know no one wants to do it, but honestly, learn now. Get as many tickets as you can, get as many qualifications as you can, because it will help you later on. You don't want to be doing it when you're 30, 40 like I did.
Do you think university is sort of like, is it important for gaining a role in your career, or do you not need it? Can you get into your career without it?
It was a funny one with me, because I bumped into a guy in Tesco's that I used to work with, and he offered me a job to come back. And I thought it was on the tools, and I said no. And he was like, no, we need someone to run the whole Lincolnshire yard again. So it was a lucky chance opportunity for me. I think if I'd applied for the job, I might not have got it, and I was only halfway through my degree. So I would say university, yes. Train yourselves up. Everything you can get on a CV that says I can do this, I'm qualified in that, will look loads better in front of an interviewer. You know, if there's 5 of you, then you've got a degree, you've got A levels, you've got all this sort of stuff, and he's got nothing. They're always going to look at you who's got the qualifications. But it doesn't always mean you're the best person for the job. One of my guys here, he's got a degree in petrochemical engineering, and he works for me pulling cables and digging gardens. So he's spent the time, he's put himself in debt, he's got the course, and he's working for me, not on the chemical plant. So don't always think because I've got the education, it's going to get me straight in the job, because it's a bit of a double-edged sword where people say, you've got the qualifications, have you got the experience? You know what I mean? So sometimes the experience is better getting it, because I know people have gone and done courses, spent thousands of pounds on a course, they've passed it, gone to a company, and they've said, have you got any experience in this? They've gone, no, we can't give you the job then. So it's all right having all that course, but without the experience, you know what I mean? They go hand in hand. So yeah, the education you can get yourselves, educate. The experience is you need to get out there and work for people. Do you know what I mean? So, I mean, I was working at, well, I won't go into it all, but I was working at an early age. I've worked all my life, you know, and I had nothing, no education thing give me most of my jobs. So I'd say this one, because I was going through the degree, yes, it got me into this managerial role. I might have got it without it, I don't know, but always get the courses, always do it. But get yourselves out there, work, experience, get to know people. You know, your parents will say it's not what you know, it's who you know. It's very true. You know what I mean? You can have all the tickets under the sun, have all the experience, but the other lad in the interview, his uncle works for the company. He'll get the job. Do you know what I mean? Because so it's get yourselves out there, meet people, work, network, get the courses,